Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you enjoy this video. Okay, sometimes we have a great reluctance to ask the Lord some of what we feel like are very hard questions, or questions that we feel like we have no place asking. So we're scared to ask, like, he's going to strike us down or something, some sort of outrageous notion that we grew up believing, or we take on that belief by what we are being fed. And so we have to watch these things. Okay? You have to really pay attention to the way the Word is laid out, how the men and women of God addressed the Lord, things they asked. And they asked the Lord pretty tough questions that almost seem confrontational, but they were anything but. Because they were still submissive to the Lord's will and not theirs. We're not going to understand it all. We're not going to understand a good bit of it. Just wandering around asking each other these questions because we can't answer them. So it's best to pose them to the Lord, and don't be shy and don't be scared of Him. He doesn't want you to fear Him in the way man has taught fear to be, because it's not one and the same. Now, a lot of times, here's one of the interesting things about the Lord. When you ask Him questions, especially the ones concerning, about life and why things have to be the way that they are, the response you get will be from a human's perspective, as if it is from a human's perspective. Now, we can't very well look at things from God's perspective, but we can understand a human's perspective and see He can look at it from a human's perspective because He's been both God and man. Amen? So if that makes sense. Alright, so, He was telling me, he said, look, if you have any questions, he said, there are questions that my people are asking right now, and it can also make them fall behind. You'll have to excuse my phone. But it will make my people fall behind, question their faith, question my existence, based on what they see, because they have become disheartened and broken, and they don't understand it. They don't understand, and sometimes it's due because they were fed the wrong bread. They were fed the wrong bread. So he says, ask me and I'll tell you. Ask me, but be prepared for the answer you receive. Be prepared to see things through His eyes. Okay, so here's a question I asked him, and I have seen people ask these questions, and it catches Christians off guard. But you will have a lot of atheists ask this type of question, to discredit the beliefs of a believer. And sometimes it'll get the believer to question God. Are you real? Okay, here's the question. We say we live in a broken world with distorted views of what is right and what is wrong, what is good and what is evil. So if evil already exists in the world and Jesus paid our debt so that we may be set free from the laws of sin and death, why must we be broken by this world and the bondage it has us in? Jesus was broken and crushed for us, right? So why do we have to go through it? Here is the Lord's response, and it's going to be given through the eyes of a man, through one of his people, one of his. But these are his words as a man. We begin life as a plain empty clay water jar. We fill our jar with lifeless, tasteless water only to fall to the ground. The ground swallowing up this water, and the pot, the clay jar, shattering into small fragments of clay, and the jar seems beyond repair. Good thing God sees from beginning to end and beyond. Resurrecting a lost cause is his specialty. He strategically rearranges the pieces, adds in dye made out of the fruit of the vine, and applies it to the broken pieces in a unique and new design, rearranging them, revealing the masterpiece that will tell of the clay beginning that was rewritten by the sower of the vine. And there's your answer. You are beautifully broken. He has to break you to break off the bondage that the world wrapped you in, is what it amounts to. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found this helpful. If you're faced with this question from someone, help them see through your eyes. The eyes of faith and hope. Anyway, I hope this blessed you. I hope this encouraged you. And I thank you for watching.